Elon Musk's best friend betrays him. His reaction leaves everyone speechless. Elon Musk stood at the heart of SpaceX's mission control, staring at the monitors displaying real-time updates of satellites, rockets, and test data. For years, this place had been a sanctuary of innovation, risk, and reward. Today, it felt like a battlefield, one where the enemy wasn't competition or physics, but betrayal. But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below and please like the video. Thank you. Elon had always been a man of vision, and with vision comes trust. Among the circle of engineers, executives, and friends who surrounded him, there had always been one person who stood out: Michael Drake. Michael wasn't just a colleague. He was Elon's confidant, a friend whose journey had intertwined with Elon's since the early days of Tesla. They had spent countless nights discussing the future of humanity, arguing over ideas, and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Michael was there when Tesla almost went bankrupt, when SpaceX's rockets failed spectacularly, and when Starlink was nothing but a daring concept. But now, Elon sat in his private office, staring at a folder filled with evidence that turned his world upside down. Internal investigations had confirmed his worst fear. Michael had stolen proprietary SpaceX data, blueprints for an advanced propulsion system designed to revolutionize interstellar travel, and sold it to a rival company for a fortune. The betrayal wasn't just personal, it was existential. The technology Michael had leaked could set SpaceX back years and jeopardize their competitive edge in the burgeoning space industry. But what stung Elon most wasn't the financial or technical setback, it was the personal wound. Michael had been like family. Elon had trusted him with ideas he wouldn't even share with his closest allies. And now, that trust had been shattered. The news broke like a wildfire. Media outlets ran headlines screaming betrayal, and the internet erupted with speculation. Who was this Michael Drake? How could someone so close to Elon Musk betray him? The betrayal became a global talking point, and everyone awaited Elon's response. Would he sue? Press charges? Launch a public campaign against Michael and the rival company? Elon's response, however, was uncharacteristic and baffling. For days, he said nothing. He attended meetings as usual, tweeted about artificial intelligence and Dogecoin, and oversaw rocket launches. The silence only fueled speculation. Some thought he was plotting a massive legal takedown. Others believed he was strategizing a business maneuver to counteract the theft. But no one could predict what Elon did next. On a quiet Friday evening, Elon held a press conference. It was hastily organized with little fanfare. Journalists packed the room, eager for answers. Elon stepped up to the podium, his expression calm but his eyes sharp. He held a single sheet of paper in his hand. The room fell silent. Elon Musk addressing the betrayal scandal, one reporter whispered to another. Elon, another interrupted, what's your response to Michael Drake's actions? Elon raised a hand, signaling for quiet. He took a moment, scanning the room. Then he spoke. Trust is the currency of innovation, he began, his voice steady. Without it, no team, no company, no society can thrive. Michael Drake was a trusted friend and colleague, and what he's done has shaken the foundation of that trust. But I won't let one act of betrayal define the future of SpaceX or my faith in people. The room buzzed with whispers, but Elon continued. SpaceX will not pursue legal action against Michael Drake or the company that purchased our data, he said. Gasps echoed through the crowd. Elon paused, letting the shock settle. What? Someone muttered. He's letting it slide. Elon leaned into the microphone. Let me be clear. Betrayal hurts. It hurts deeply. But reacting out of anger or vengeance accomplishes nothing. Instead, we're going to double down on what we do best, innovating. The stolen data represents what we were yesterday. What we're working on today and tomorrow will make it obsolete. The room erupted into chaos. Reporters shouted questions, demanding explanations. Elon stood there, unflinching, waiting for silence. Michael's actions have taught me a painful but valuable lesson about vigilance and accountability. It's a wake-up call for all of us. But focusing on the past doesn't create the future. SpaceX will emerge stronger, not because of what we've lost, but because of what we'll build next. As the press conference ended, Elon walked off the stage, leaving the world stunned. Analysts debated his decision. Was it genius? Madness? Some called it a PR stunt, while others hailed it as a masterclass in forward-thinking leadership. Behind the scenes, Elon's reaction was far from passive. SpaceX's security protocols were overhauled. He personally reviewed every critical project to ensure no further breaches could occur. Teams worked around the clock, developing next-generation technologies that would render the stolen data obsolete within months. Meanwhile, Michael Drake faced the fallout of his actions. The rival company, now under intense scrutiny, distanced itself from him. Legal investigations loomed, and Michael found himself ostracized from the industry. He tried to reach out to Elon, but every message went unanswered. Months later, SpaceX unveiled a revolutionary new propulsion system, one far superior to the stolen designs. The launch was a resounding success, proving Elon's confidence in the future. At the end of the event, he tweeted a simple message. "When you betray trust, you hurt yourself most. The future is too big for small minds." The tweet went viral, embodying the spirit of resilience and forward momentum. Elon's response to betrayal became a case study in leadership, showing that sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's building something so extraordinary that no betrayal can overshadow it. As SpaceX soared to new heights, Michael Drake's life continued to unravel. The industry had turned its back on him, and his reputation was in tatters. He tried to justify his actions to the public, claiming he had been undervalued and overlooked at SpaceX, but no one was listening. The rival company that had purchased the stolen data quietly severed all ties with him, afraid of being further implicated. Michael was left adrift, a man who had traded trust for temporary gain, only to lose everything in the process. Despite the chaos in Michael's life, Elon never spoke about him publicly again. The silence was deafening, and it haunted Michael. He couldn't understand how Elon had managed to move on without so much as a word of condemnation. The lack of confrontation felt like an unbearable weight, an absence that gnawed at his conscience. One evening, months after the press conference, Michael found himself staring at an old photograph on his desk. It was from the early days of SpaceX, Elon and Michael standing in front of the first Falcon 1 rocket, both grinning with the reckless optimism of men who believed they could conquer the impossible. The memory hit him like a punch to the gut. He had been part of something extraordinary, something that transcended the ordinary ambitions of men, and he had thrown it all away. Michael decided he couldn't live with the silence any longer. He needed closure, even if it came at the cost of humiliation. He sent a letter to Elon, not an email, not a text, but a handwritten letter. In it, he poured out his regret, his shame, and his yearning for forgiveness. He didn't expect a response, but writing it felt like the only way to confront what he had done. Weeks passed with no reply. Michael assumed the letter had been discarded or worse, ignored. Then, one morning, an envelope arrived at his door. It bore no return address, but Michael recognized the handwriting immediately. It was Elon's. The letter was brief, only a few lines, but it was enough to shake Michael to his core. "Michael, I've already forgiven you. Not for your sake, but for mine. Carrying anger is a waste of energy, and energy is all we have to change the future. What you do with your life now is up to you. Elon." Michael read the letter over and over, searching for some hidden meaning, some hint of lingering resentment. But there was none. It was a simple declaration, free of malice or judgment. For the first time in months, Michael felt the crushing weight of guilt begin to lift. Forgiveness didn't erase what he had done, but it gave him the chance to start anew. Meanwhile, SpaceX continued to thrive. The company's new propulsion system attracted partnerships with international space agencies and private investors alike. Elon's decision to rise above the betrayal only enhanced his reputation as a visionary leader. People admired not just his intellect, but his ability to focus on the future, no matter the obstacles. Years later, at a global summit on space exploration, Elon delivered a keynote speech about humanity's collective journey to the stars. As he spoke about the importance of collaboration, trust, and resilience, Michael sat in the audience, now a quiet figure working for a nonprofit that promoted STEM education for underprivileged youth. He had reinvented himself, dedicating his life to ensuring others wouldn't make the same mistakes he had. When the speech ended, the audience gave Elon a standing ovation. As the crowd dispersed, Michael approached Elon cautiously, unsure if he would even be recognized. Elon turned, his expression neutral, but not unkind. "Michael," Elon said simply, acknowledging him. "I just wanted to say thank you," Michael replied, his voice steady but soft. "For the letter, for everything." Elon nodded, his gaze steady. "We're all trying to figure it out, Michael. Just keep building." And with that, Elon walked away, leaving Michael standing there, humbled but hopeful. It was a moment of closure, not a rekindling of friendship, but a quiet acknowledgement that even in betrayal, there could be lessons learned and lives rebuilt.